Time for the miniature, guys. This game happened in Belarus 1970 between two guys. I just have to say, this was a critical position that happened in the game, and you're probably wondering what happened and what kind of opening was this. So take a look at this one, and if you really want to make a moonwalk of the White King in your own games, you may try the following trick and somehow catch your opponent off guard in the following miniature. So white went for e4 and black played d5. Scandinavian opening. Of course, the main and absolutely the best continuation for white is e takes d5, and black has an option of capturing by queen or playing knight f6, which is called Marshall variation. Amongst many possibilities, the main one is, of course, d4, and it's absolutely the best. Currently, I'm making Butcher the Scandinavian on the Chessable, and you're going to be able to find out how to refute this variation. So after d4, which is arguably absolutely the best against this variation, black opted for knight takes d5, main opportunity in the Marshall variation. Another very interesting one you can find on my channel. You have 8 videos about the Portuguese gambit. Although that's not going to be the subject of this one, black went for knight d5. And I remember I was analyzing one night with a good friend of mine, candidate master Andrej, and I asked him, what do you play against c4? And then he played knight b4, and that actually happened in this game. So after knight b4, I just looked at him and said, well, what are you doing? What do you play if I play queen a4 check and win your knight? He said, okay, go play it. That's what white did in this game, and black went with a knight h6, and I played d5. And then everything was based on the following move by black, and this is a 2 exclamation mark moves, and he played b5. And then I had lots of laugh, and then I realized how bad is this variation for white, and that I actually got tricked. So take a look at this one. After b5, now white has two options. In the game was queen b5, but before we see queen b5, what happens if c takes b5? Now you're going to be able to see the full symmetry of the black pieces. Knight goes on d4 and threatens one of these knights to jump on c2. Well, you absolutely cannot take on b4 because of very nice fork and a very typical one in many games. That's why white has to take on b5 by queen. You give check knight c2, king d1, and bishop d7. I believe this looks familiar because this was the starting position from the beginning of this video, and bishop d7. So white is up a pawn. He's about to win another knight, but he can't win the knight taking on c2 because of knight d4, which would be discovered and the queen would be gone. So white decided to take on c6. He's now up a piece and a pawn. Black goes with the double check by bishop on g4 and queen on d8. And looks like king can just take on c2 and he's up 2 pieces. But now take a look at the four sequence by black, which decides the game almost, without any chance for white to defend himself. Queen d1 check. King goes to c3, that's the only move. And I believe he could have bred a, easily during the game because he just took one piece back and feels a little bit better now because he's only down a piece and a pawn. Okay, king goes to b3, bishop d1 check. King goes to b4, a5 check. King goes to c5, e5 check by the bishop on f8. King goes to d5, rook to d8. King takes c5, bishop d6. Unfortunately, this guy cannot come with king on f5 because it's going to be first mate after g6. So he went with a king on d5. And another nice thing, bishop c5 check, giving check, discover check. King has to take on c5, and take a look at this beautiful mate with the queen g5 here. I really enjoy this line. I really tried desperation afterwards, couple of blitz games, and one guy even fell for this b5. Wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you're going to be lucky enough to have one of your games where your opponent is just going to fall for something like this and give this famous fifth move, queen a4 check, which after knight c6 and d5 leads to absolutely, for them, unexpected consequences with the b5 here. So hope you enjoyed this short video. This was a nice miniature and something really tricky in the Marshall variation by Black. And once again, enjoy the content and see you soon. Bye bye.